Welcome to the second part of our course Java Beginner. In this part, we want to install an integrated development environment, short IDE. This tool helps us to write our code more easily and offers us auto-completion and language support so that you as a beginner can start with Java easily. In the description, you can find the link for IntelliJ IDEA we are using. At the top, you can find other versions if you need an older version or Windows or Linux, for example, but we will go with the Community Edition. There you can just click on download and it will download the latest version for your system. When you install IntelliJ and started the application, you will see a window like this. Maybe you are using the older design of IntelliJ. Maybe then you have a little bit of an other design, but it will have the same buttons. We click on New Project and we give our project a name first of all. I name it Java Beginner. Then we need to have a check what we have to change else. We want to remove generate code with onboarding tips and we need to have a look. The location is right for me. I want to have the project there. We need the build system IntelliJ and the language Java. If you're not having a JDK there, you can download a JDK directly from IntelliJ. We need 1.8, so that is important that you download version 1.8. Everything else is irrelevant because you can use Amazon's JDK or any other JDK. Let's have a look in the advanced settings, but that looks good. So let's create the project. It opens in another window for me, so I drag it here. And that's our initial project. Let's have a look first of all into our IDE, what we have there. On the left side, you can find the project window. In the project window, you have the project tree with the source and the main. The main is our entry class, where we have the public static void main string array arguments. There we can deliver arguments to our application that then can be used to execute stuff in this main method. The main method is the initial part where our application starts, and from there everything else then happens. Also in the project tab we can find the external libraries. If we open the external libraries, we can find our Corretto 1.8 JDK there, or the JDK that you used for Java 1.8. It delivers all other libraries that come with that JDK. And currently we don't have any other library in there. Scratches and consoles is unimportant for us at the moment. On the right side of IntelliJ, you can find the settings or the project structure, two other important parts for our IntelliJ. In the project structure, you can find the SDKs or JDKs again, and you can also find a project window. In the project window, you can define a name, the SDK you want to use, or the SDK language. So you can change the language which IntelliJ uses to show you the code. And you can define the compiler output, but that is also unimportant for us. There you can also again find your libraries that you imported, but it is empty because it doesn't show the SDK here. Another important part you can find in the right side is the settings. Here you can first of all change to the new UI of IntelliJ, for example. That's the UI I have currently activated. So maybe your UI looks a little bit different since this could be disabled. In the appearance, you can change the theme. So for example, if you want to have the light or another dark theme, you can change it there. That's the most important about appearance. In the key map tab, you can define key maps for actions. So if you want to change something on your keyboard because you use it a different way, you can do this here. Then we also have the editor. The editor is everything where you edit your code. For example, you can change that with command and mouse wheel on Mac, you can change the font size while scrolling with your mouse, or you can change the font by default for every project and every time. You can change the size, the font, or the line height. And that is almost everything. You can also change some styling for errors or stuff like that, but that is very specific on your needs. So you might take a look into this. So now we are finished with styling our IDE and setting up everything we need. Expect the run configuration that you can find on the right side of your application. There we have a run command, or in your main file you can also click the run buttons if they are not available at the right side. And you have a configuration for your main method if you have run it the first time. There you can see what will be executed, and you can pass the program arguments, our string array args, there. So if we want to have arguments, we can fill them in there and run it again, so we have it with arguments. But we don't need that at this moment. The next thing we want to do is to create a package path. So a package is a file directory where our files are in, and with that we can identify our classes. So if we have multiple classes, we have multiple paths and they are still unique. I create the path com.arematics.learning. You're always creating, or mostly creating, the language tag, your organization or personal name, and the project you want to work on. In this package, I now move the main class. Now we have it in a package, and also the package is mentioned in the main class at the top. And we have to find the, let's call it, namespace for the main method. Let's have a look in the old UI of IntelliJ to see some difference to the new UI. The old UI looks a little bit different. The tabs have names. In the new UI, it is almost only icons. And you can still run applications as it is in the new UI. A little bit different are the run configurations on the right side. There you have less options, and it looks almost the same when you create configurations there. So you have also the program arguments and also the command that will be executed and stuff like that. So actually the content is still the same. A short information for you: half of this course is still in the old UI, but you will find everything as it is in the new UI, since it didn't change that much. Maybe just the design is a little bit different and the icons look a little bit different, but that won't be hard. So that's it for the IntelliJ IDE part. In the next part, we will look into the most important data types, the primitive data types. But for now, I only can say see you in the next part.